This week, we're going to be answering more of your questions, questions we have in general. We've done this for the past 2 weeks for the vlog for the week, and you all seem to really enjoy it. So we're going to do it again today. And I love it when you all leave your answers to these questions. It's just fun. It's just fun to see, you know, what makes people tick, I think. So one of the questions we got was, what kind of music do we listen to?
I'll listen to pretty much anything modern, kind of. I don't like country, really. I did go through me and you both kind of went through a country phase for a little while.
A long
years
ago.
Yeah, like John Deere Green era.
Yeah, long time ago.
And, but we neither one of us really listen to that anymore.
No.
But me, I'll listen to anything on like the top pop kind of radio stuff, but I'll listen to like 70s and 80s music as well.
But
so
what
I'm
do
pretty
you
much anything except
if you
country.
could have the radio on the channel with the music you like, what would you choose?
That's hard to say because it just depends on my mood.
Because I think you would not. I think Kevin always, anytime I get in the car, he has the music. He has modern music turned on. He has it on a station, and I immediately change
like top 40. It's not really top 40, but it's all genres. It's like rap and R&B.
And I immediately change the channel. But you mentioned country music. We've been in Walmart before, and for some reason, I've said this before, they choose to play everything extra loud now. Or it may be because I'm getting older. It just seems that way.
No, they've cranked it up.
But when they play country music, I feel like clawing my eyeballs out. I mean, I really, it's just like...
For those of you that love country, we're sorry.
I'm thinking,
it's not my kind of music.
No, it really, it's not an enjoyable shopping experience, and it makes me, I'm thinking, how soon can I get out of here?
It doesn't make you want to stay in the store and shop. It makes you want to leave.
Not at all. And really, I think they're making a mistake with the music.
This is a loud music, period.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite? I would say 70s, 80s.
I love
oldies.
Yeah, it would be oldies now.
That's my guess. What is it?
I like 70s or 80s. So like we were in the car the other day, and they were doing all 80s, and I knew every single one of them.
Sing along with every one of them.
And then memories are going through my mind of childhood and when I had this song playing and stuff like that. So I'm really familiar with 80s music, but then I love 70s music too. Absolutely love 70s music. But I'm one of those people too that could just as easily listen to Mozart or Beethoven.
Yeah.
I really like classical music. I really enjoy TV theme songs. I mean, love TV theme songs. And I've told Kevin, I said, can you imagine if these grocery stores would put on a loop of TV theme songs? People would love that. Like
where's that from?
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, and I tell you
it'd be
what,
more of a fun game than anything.
Yeah, what made me think of it is it was so bizarre. We were in Meijer, and Meijer was playing "Thank You for Being a Friend," the Golden Girls theme. I've never heard that played in the store. I've never heard it played. I've only heard it played for the show. And they were playing it over the intercom, and I thought, this is brilliant, because I thought they could do this with all the TV theme songs because it's clean.
Yeah, most of them aren't too annoying.
No, and they're quick. They're quick, so it's not like people are going to get tired of it. The second you start getting tired of it, we're moving on to something else. I think they should all do that. It would be much better, and it would be fun, you know. And we've done that for a game before, like you know, who can name the TV show, and we'll play a little piece of the theme, and you know, we do that kind of thing all the time. So, but I like anything, I would say, but country.
Yeah, that's pretty much me too.
Yeah.
And opera.
Do you change your typical menu with the seasons, or eat the same year round?
We just pretty much eat whatever, whenever. We'll have special meals occasionally, but as far as our regular food, we pretty much eat whatever.
We do eat certain things only at particular times of year.
Yeah, but that's not our full menu, though.
Right.
Like our regular food, we just eat whatever. You know,
right.
Like a sandwich, I'm going to eat a ham sandwich in the winter or the summer. It really doesn't matter when.
But if I'm going to make chili, I only make it like
when
in the
cooler.
fall.
Yeah,
I usually only make it in the fall. If I'm going to make a big pot of vegetable soup,
something hot.
I usually do that, towards Christmas or... And of course, you know, turkey dinner and stuff like that. I don't just normally buy a turkey and make.
But they're asking about the
your whole menu,
your typical menu, and your typical menu is just like things we would normally.
Yeah,
have.
we just eat the same.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Even when the kids were growing up and we were cooking, like Tanya was cooking every night, it was pretty much the same thing year round.
Yeah. We
except for those occasional chili, soup beans, that kind of stuff.
Yes. What improvements would you make to your home?
I would probably redo. I would redo the bathroom downstairs and add a bathroom and a room upstairs. That would be the improvement that I would make.
I was gonna say I would put a bathroom upstairs.
Yeah,
that would
but
be
while doing that, I would redo the bathroom downstairs.
Yes,
it needs
you would
it
do
needs
them,
an update.
Yeah, you do them both at the same time. Yeah, exactly.
Throw out the money.
Yeah, you have to have the money to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we both agree.
Oh, yeah.
We're putting a bathroom upstairs for sure. Have you or would you ever try growing your own vegetables? We have grown tomatoes and peppers, banana peppers.
Yeah, we did have banana peppers for a little while.
And to me, it's easier to
go to the store.
Yeah, it's like my dad told my sister. He said, I have a whole garden or something. I don't know how he worded it, but he was like, I have a whole garden to choose from in Publix. Yeah. Why in the world would I go to the effort? And it takes, because you have to put in so much effort for that. That why wouldn't I go to the store and just buy it?
For us, it's easier to go to the store. Like my dad, he had a garden when I was growing up. He planted corn and potatoes and tomatoes,
but truly,
all kinds of stuff.
There was no point to that.
No, there was no point. He just enjoyed doing it because he had to end up putting a fence around it because the rabbits would get into it. He had to go in there and weed all the time
and water.
And then after the end of the year, you till it all up.
And you have to worry about bugs getting into it.
Spray for bugs and everything. So for a small garden, for me, it's just not worth it. But some people love it. It's not really as much for the vegetables as the hobby. More than anything.
I agree. Some people actually get enjoyment out of that.
Digging in the earth.
Yeah, just like a flower garden or cutting the flowers and pruning and stuff like that. I have absolutely no desire to do that. And I mean, I love flowers, flower gardens, and to see them, and I really enjoy looking at them. And I told Kevin, honestly, I don't even care to have them in the house. We have not one house plant. Mm-hmm. I don't even want plants in the house because that's something living that I have to take care of. And when you get a plant, you're giving yourself a job. I don't need another job. I don't need...
a cactus where you water it once a year.
I don't even want that. I just don't want it. I don't want something living in the house. Yeah. And as far as flowers go, I think they're beautiful, but it's just something that it's going to start dying day by day, and then eventually I'm going to have to take care of that. I'm going to have to do something with them or pull out the dead and change the water. I just don't want to have to, I'm just an easy person. I want to make life as simplistic and easy as I can, and if you don't have any of that stuff in your house, you don't have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. I saw this guy on YouTube, and this would, good on him, but it would absolutely drive me bonkers. I'm so glad Kevin is not this type of person. He has, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he has this aquarium, and it's a big aquarium.
Huge.
It's huge. It's big, like, what would you say, like 50 gallon or something? I don't know.
More than that.
It's big. But he calls it something.
Maybe a 50. It's a big tank.
He calls it something because it doesn't have fish in it. It has plants in it. Okay. So that's fine. It has the plants in it. But the
Yeah,
plants.
but it's filled with water. It's not like a terrarium where it's like just a warm environment. This is like full of water.
Yeah, it has water in it and it has plants, but the plants are growing outside.
Like a vine.
Like a vine, yes. And his plan is to have this vine going all around his room. I could not be married to this person. I couldn't. I could not, because it is hideous. And it would drive me bonkers. It would absolutely drive me crazy to walk in this room and think, every time I walked in, I would be like, I would like to cut this down. And, you know, that's why we're good for each other.
I don't want anything like that either.
No, we don't want anything like that.
Had a fish tank, well, when I was a kid, but then Andrew had a fish tank, and it was just awful to keep clean. And all that stuff.
It's a job. You're literally giving yourself
cleaning,
a job.
like you're cleaning the rocks, and you have to make sure you get all the soap out, or you kill the fish when you put them back in there. Found that out. It can't have any soap in there whatsoever at all, or it kills the fish.
Andrew had this fish for a long time.
He did.
And then Kevin cleaned it.
Well, who knows? You know, that was before the days of, you know, looking up stuff on the internet. So it's like, we're just going to wash it off with soap. Dishwasher, dish soap.
Yeah.
Sure, that was the wrong thing to do, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know how to fish.
Yeah, you have to get every little bit of soap.
It was not intentional at all.
No, Kevin would never kill anything on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. It was not intentional at all, but I thought I rinsed it off really good, but that's the only thing we could think of is that it had a little bit of soap in there and it killed it.
Yeah.
It was one of those goldfish you get at the like a pond.
Yeah, but I think we bought it.
I thought it was
PetSmart.
one of those goldfish that you get at the
fair.
At the game at a fair.
Oh yeah, I would never do that. I had plants at our old house. I had plants for years.
You had violet.
And
you had a violet.
A violet, yes. And the only reason I would still have it if I hadn't have thrown it away, or put it outside and let it die its death. The only reason I had these plants is because they were given to me, and like my mom gave me this plant, and I'm telling you, the plant would still be alive today. But you know, people give you things, and then you feel obligated
keep it for a little while,
keep it. So by people giving me these plants, you're giving me a job, and I have to keep it, and I have to water it, and I know it's not a big deal, but I just don't enjoy that. And so I kept them for years and years and years. And then finally I said, you know what? I just don't enjoy this.
You kept them long enough.
I kept it long enough, and then I disposed of them. It's just
some of them we did stick
thing.
outside, hoping they would just grow outside, but then they never did.
And there's a woman that I watch on YouTube, and I've told Kevin, she has this beautiful flower garden, and she really cares about her plants and stuff like that. And that's wonderful. I'm so glad that she enjoys that. But then I wouldn't put it off on somebody else, you know, just because you like it, that's wonderful. But I wouldn't start wanting to give people things like that, because it's like giving them a pet.
It's almost as bad.
Yeah. Let's see. What stores would you never shop in again if you didn't do these if you didn't do the food reviews?
Oh, there's so many.
We would never, I can tell you, there's been one store that we went in one time and we've never gone back. And I'm afraid to say it, because do you think that would be offensive to people? Because
you just didn't like it. You didn't
I
like
did not like it.
I don't know what it was.
I'm leery about saying it, because then people unsubscribe. I know it's stupid, but people will unsubscribe for the stupidest reasons. I had somebody on our crumble review from this, you'll see this on Monday from the past Monday, so the most recent crumble video, say, you licked your fingers, I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah, we kiss each other. It's okay.
Yeah, we kiss each other too.
We've been married for 30
have
years.
2 children together too. So.
Yeah, 30 plus years we've been married. So if I'm cooking for other people, of course I'm not doing that. If it's just me and Tammy, who cares?
But if we pick up a cookie and it has a little chocolate on the edge, and you get that little dab of chocolate and you go like that, Well, big deal, you
Yeah,
know.
most people-
But
a lot
anyway,
of people do that.
so I won't say the store that I will never go back in again, because I don't want people to unsubscribe. Because that was literally a store I went in one time and I thought, wow, this is really not for me, and we've never gone back. But other stores I would.
But I can just tell you places I wouldn't go back. Like Whole Foods is not necessarily a place I would go regularly.
No.
Because it's not the kind of food we buy on the regular.
Every single thing we buy at Whole Foods is for reviews.
Yeah, it's just not a store we have to go to. And plus it's clear on the other side of Lexington, which is the other town over already, and they're more expensive.
And if you care about organic and all that stuff, then
really
you
good
probably
price.
do care about that. But we don't care if it's organic. We don't care.
They're regular 365 brand with like chips and stuff like that. It's no better or worse than anybody else. So
I would just soon buy Lay's potato chips.
I'm thinking of like the local Critchfield meat, probably unless I'm going to very specifically. And the Critchfield meat's a locally owned place, but unless I'm going for like maybe we're doing some kind of steak cookout or something, I would go there.
Wouldn't go there.
I don't think I'd go there either.
Because we would go to Charlie's and buy meat if we wanted specialty meat.
So there's places like that we wouldn't go.
There's just
the Fresh Market we probably still go in because you like Fresh Market.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do. I like it.
Places like that, they're kind of expensive and they don't really sell food we would normally.
Yeah, and it's like we're
basis.
only going there to find things to review. It would be stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. How is Christina? I'm actually glad that somebody asked this question because I have been asked this. I swear I was asked this months ago, and I said I would talk about it during a vlog, and then I didn't. And I'm sure those people think, oh, she doesn't want to talk about it or she's trying to avoid it. If you don't know, our daughter-in-law got into a wreck.
Pretty bad wreck.
Pretty bad wreck a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years ago. And then we just, the video, we put out a video about it. And then I put the video, I made it private. So nobody can watch it. There were several reasons I did that, which, believe it or not, I got a lot of hateful comments on that video. So that was one of the big reasons that I made that private, is because I had some people that were like, just, I don't know, they were just mean.
What, we're trying to make money out of her suffering or something?
No, it was weird. Well, that person.
You know, you get all kinds of people.
One of the loudest people, one of those people ended up really harassing us later on, and in different ways. And so that person had some things going on, I think. You know, when you're getting that kind of hate, then you know that person has something going on. That's a them.
Not you.
That's a them problem. That's not a you problem. Because why would you get so mad about a free video that you're watching on YouTube? You know, why do you have such strong opinions about this? If you don't like it, just don't click on it. You know, it's free entertainment for you.
And we're pretty obvious what you're clicking on from the title.
Yes, you always
you
know.
always know.
But how would you say Christina is?
Christina is doing well. I mean, I don't know the details because we don't ask detail because she doesn't like to talk about it.
She does not want to talk about it at all.
And I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to talk about it all the time either. I can say that she's doing well. She walks fine.
You would never know.
She has no limp or no.
No, you would never ever know that anything happens.
She's able to exercise. She runs a little bit.
She goes to the gym.
She goes. So she does the things she wants to. I think she has a little bit of pain in her hips a little bit when she does a lot of like stairs. Like she does a lot of stairs. She'll have a little problems in her hip, and they're saying there's a bone in her arm that for a long time hadn't completely sealed back up. So
I still don't think it did.
I don't think it did. So her bones broke, and they put plates on it to kind of hold it there, but there was a piece like missing. There was a gap there, and the hopes is once they're gone together, they would slowly fill in and grow back together again. Last time I knew, they were still a little bit of a gap between there, and they had tried like electrotherapy to try to stimulate the growth and everything. And they're saying they may have to go in there and insert a piece of like cartilage or rib bone or something in there at some point in time. But for right now, it's stable because of the plates.
But I think they do think her hip. I think they think
her knee, one of the
or
two.
her knee. Yeah, later on down the road,
she may have to get something else.
She'll
done.
probably have to have
because something's
surgery.
not 100% aligned. Correctly, so she may have to have another surgery later, but overall she's doing fine.
I have one hair that's like Right?
Yeah, you're asking the blind person to look at you for a hair.
It's driving me crazy. But if you were to see her out or walking down the street,
you would never know.
You would never know. You would never know,
No.
which is just amazing because
compared to where she came from.
Yeah, because she was in the hospital for a long time,
Yeah.
and then she had to go to like a rehabilitation place for a long time, and then she was going constantly to visits for physical therapy visits,
Occupational therapy.
yeah, it was a whole process that she went through, and so for her to be running around with her kids and you to not know anything is just amazing.
Yeah.
So that is how Christina's doing, and thank you for bringing that up, because truly I was asked that a long time ago, and like I said, I'm not trying to avoid it at all. I just forget, you know. In the video where we're talking about how we met, we go through how we met. We did it a long time ago.
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Somebody said, I noticed. You said that you noticed Kevin at school. I noticed Kevin at school. I noticed him, and I thought, that guy's hot. I want to meet him. And he looked completely different than, I think he's beautiful now. He's gorgeous now. But he looked completely different because he had his hair was longer, and it was curly. And it was all black.
Oh yeah, dark.
No beard at all. So
skinny.
I was gonna say he was very skinny.
I think I weighed 185 pounds.
But somebody said, okay, so I noticed you.
I did not.
Did you notice me?
I didn't.
And he would never have noticed me.
No, because I'm in my own little world most of the time. I don't notice people now. If people walk by me on the store or at the street or something, I just don't pay attention to people. Tammy will look at me and go, did you see that person in that purple coat or whatever? And I'll go, no, what person in a purple coat? You know, literally, I just don't pay attention.
So now I'll tell him in a store, I'll say, I know you had no idea who that was, but this is who that was.
And I'll be going, where?
Yes.
No, I had no clue.
Just the other day, we were on a walk, and somebody passed us. It was a man, and he passed us. Walking. And he said, hello, how are you all doing? I said, fine, whatever. And the man probably didn't have a clue who we were. But I knew exactly who he was. And I told Kevin, I said, you have no clue who that was, do you? And he said, no. And I said, that was such and such. Because it was one of Andrew's teachers. It was one of Andrew's teachers. Which we established in last week's vlog. Kevin does not remember any teachers. He doesn't remember their names.
No, don't remember the kids' teachers.
Doesn't remember anything about them. This was one of Andrew's teachers in middle school, and I knew his name and everything. And
once you said it, it's like, oh, yeah, that probably was. Yeah.
Yeah. But Kevin does not pay attention.
No, I just don't look at people and file all that away. I don't have enough room for all that.
So when we were in school, Kevin, where I first saw him was like in the hall and in the lunchroom. And
we actually had a lunch where you could sit down and eat lunch. Yeah,
Kevin would play cards with his friends and stuff like that. He was not looking around at anybody. He was in his own little world doing his thing. Yeah. He would have never, if I had not told my friends and people that I liked, that I wanted to get to know this guy, we would have never met. It was all me.
It was all her.
Yeah. So sometimes, girls, you have to take the upper hand in the situation.
Yeah. All that happened was you got one of your friends to tell one of my friends, and then that friend told me, and so I called Tammy. Yeah. That weekend or that night.
Well, your friend came and got my phone number.
Yeah.
He met me in the parking lot and got my phone number.
And then I called her that night.
Yeah.
And set up a date that weekend.
But
so I mean, it worked out.
A lot of times, guys, Kevin's a very, or he was back then. He was really shy before I've tarnished him, but he was really
Still pretty shy.
And so sometimes, girls, I just think you have to take the upper hand in the situation. And if you want to make this thing happen, then you have to be able to tell somebody. Usually that's the way to do it. Tell a friend, and then that friend can tell a friend of theirs. And that way you don't seem like you don't have to say anything. You know, it's other people are getting you two together. I think that's a good way to do it.
Kind of like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it because you're not looking like you're desperate or anything like that.
Just
and
say
then,
somebody's interested in you.
And then if Kevin had looked at me, Kevin can look at me and be like, oh, yeah, sure, I'm interested in her. Or he might have, you're giving the guy the opportunity to be like, oh no, I don't want to date her. Without you doing it face to face, you're giving them the opportunity to kind of decide before they come to you, or whether they want to come to you or not. Whether they want to act on it or not.
Right.
Okay.
It worked out for us.
Yeah.
30 some years later.
How has your body changed in the last 5 years?
5 years. Mine never hasn't changed a lot in 5 years. I mean, I'm greater.
I think mine has.
Well,
I think
from back when we lost a lot of weight, which was longer ago than 5 years ago, I've gained a lot of that back. Not all of it, but I have gained some of it back.
No, because you were probably, what, 40 pounds heavier?
Oh, yeah. I was literally 40 pounds heavier than I am now.
Yeah.
So,
you've never gained all that.
But in 5 years, I know, I've gotten wider. Beard's gotten wider. Hair's definitely gotten wider.
But I don't think people talk about, you don't hear people, because it's so, like, cliche to hear the old people talking about all their bodily functions and all that stuff.
Whatever.
And so people tend to not say anything. Yeah. And just like when you have a pet, I notice this. You hear all the good things about having a pet. You hear how wonderful they are and what wonderful companions.
Fun, loving, and all that stuff, which is great.
But nobody tells you, nobody wants to talk about what happens when a pet gets old.
Yeah, like those last 5 years.
Yeah, nobody talks about what they go through and what you go through as a family and the things that happens and the things that nobody wants to talk about. And, they might just decide that they're going to go to the bathroom in the floor in the house because they forget that they need to go outside. So I think too, it's been such a,
I haven't got to that point.
No, we're not taking a dump in the living room floor. I can tell you that right now. But it's been laughed about and made a joke about so much that I think people tend not to say, what changes that your body goes through. And so, some people, I think it probably catches them off guard because it's like, in my head,
you're still 20.
I'm still 20 years old. I'm still young. Yeah. I can do all the things, and I still want to do all the things. I want to run up and down those steps 20 times a day. Mm-hmm. I'm eager to do all these physical things and to pick things up and move things around and stuff like that. And you get to the point where, for me, it's been like my knees. So, especially my left knee. So, I can go up and down the steps, but if I go up and down the steps probably 5 times in a row,
you pay for it.
Then I pay for it the next day. I would say getting up and down off the floor.
From a seated position or something.
Yeah, like crisscross. When you sit on the floor, if I'm going to sit down on the floor and go through some books or some magazines or just sort through some stuff.
First of all, you can't sit that way long because your back starts hurting.
No, but the kids, I tell you when it affects me, is Amelia, our granddaughter, says, play with me. Yeah. Play with me, Nanny.
And she wants to sit in the floor.
She wants to sit in the floor because that's what I did as a kid too. I did it all my life. I sit in the floor. But she wants to sit in the floor because that's where the Barbies are and that's where all the little accessories and stuff like that are. And I cannot sit in the floor hardly any time at all, or it's my hips.
And my back starts hurting.
It's because when you sit crisscross on the floor, it kind of spreads your hips out, and I can't sit there very often anymore.
I can't sit that way anyway, hardly.
But now, getting older affects people in different ways because I've seen people in their 80s on YouTube videos, and they're doing all kinds of acrobatics, and I'm just like, well, I'm just not that person.
I think they've kept that up, though.
Yeah.
And that's not to say they don't have pain, too. They just
that's true.
take aspirin.
They just, and I don't take anything for anything, so for me, it's my hips and my knees.
Mine's probably more my back, and my hips hurt when I sleep. More than anything.
When you sleep,
because I'm a side sleeper, side and back, and I don't know if it's the mattress or just getting older, but boy, my hips kill me when I get up in the morning.
Right, and that's
they usually work out, but I've also noticed like going up hills and stuff when we're walking.
You're right.
Oh, Lord, we were talking last night. I said, do you remember when you were a little kid and you could just walk up that hill? You could run up that hill and not even think.
Yeah.
Like literally not even get out of breath. I mean, literally it just did not affect you at all.
Yeah.
And we're walking up the same hill at a decent pace. We don't walk slow.
No, we don't walk
slow. But we're walking at a decent pace. But I can't hardly breathe by the time I get to the top of it. And it's like, I remember as a kid, I would have not thought anything about going up there.
And my breathing is fine, completely fine, but it's more like that left knee. I can feel a little twinge in it. And it's not all the time. It's not like we're to the point where our bodies are having aches and pains all day, because I don't at all.
No, I don't either.
It's just that if you do anything to excess, then, I mean, it's just that's what happens, you know? And
You know, when I realized I was getting older,
when
I was helping somebody move, Andrew or Ashley, somebody.
Okay.
I think I was helping Ashley move, and we were bringing a mattress up because she lived in an apartment where you walk in and it went upstairs.
Yes.
And I was helping. We were moving, and I had already carried stuff up and down these stairs like probably 20 times, and somebody was helping us, so it wasn't just me. And I was at the top, and I had, you know, you pinch it, and you kind of pick it up and carry it.
Mattresses are awful. They should all have handles, by the way.
But I ran out of steam. I got to the top of that, and I said, I can't even move one more step. Literally,
really?
I was like, ran out of gas, like completely out of gas. And it's like, I literally cannot move this anymore.
So what happened?
He ended up pushing it up there, and I could help him kind of move it a little bit, but I could not pick it up anymore. I could not carry it anymore. I literally just ran out of energy.
Was that her apartment in Lexington?
Yes.
Where Jennifer's husband was there?
And that was a few years ago.
Mark.
So that's even worse now.
Yeah.
It just, you know,
that was Mark.
I had never got to the point where I just completely just ran out.
Right.
And that was the first time I just literally ran out of steam completely. And it's like, wow, I'm getting old.
Yeah. I understand that. I think for me, and it's probably was getting in the floor at some point, and it's like
trying to get back up.
Wow,
and
this is really bad. Yeah. Let's see. If you could only work on one body part at the gym, what would it be? I would probably.
Well, I mean, are you talking about working on like muscle?
Yeah, you're working on one body part. Besides,
but see, if I could have abs like steel, and you wouldn't see it under this. So I got to get rid of this first.
Besides walking, because I would always pick to be on the treadmill. If I could work on one body part, it would be my middle.
Stomach.
It would be
probably
stomach.
Just get rid of
it would
chubby.
be stomach. But to be honest, I'm not that person who is ever going to wear a bikini, two-piece bathing suit. I don't have that desire. I don't care. I've always worn a one-piece, and I always will wear a one-piece. And so, it doesn't matter. I don't need to have that. It just doesn't matter to me. But that's what I would work on.
Right.
Let's see. When you look back on pictures of yourself, what age are you most embarrassed about?
Oh Lord, probably 8th grade, whatever that would have been.
Why?
What is that, like?
How old
12, 13, somewhere in there.
Why would you say that?
That was the age where showers were optional. And I had this kind of long, like curly,
and they didn't have Axe,
greasy
body spray.
No, kind of oily hair and acne really bad and glasses, and I was just awkward looking. That was probably the worst school picture I can remember.
Okay, I'm gonna say about 30. No, I'm serious.
Were you on the couch?
Well, any of those pictures when I was about 30 years old, any pictures floating around of me.
I know there's one that she really hates when she was sitting on the couch.
Yeah, and on the grandmother Scott's couch. Yes,
yeah.
That's my most hated picture.
Tammy looked at that picture and says, "Diet's changing tomorrow."
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty much what decided it.
Yeah, I mean, my gosh, I had no idea how big I was. And once you see, and kids today, they don't know the joys of a real picture, because we know somebody, we were just talking about this last night. We know somebody who has their phone set any picture they take, it's automatically filtered.
Yeah.
Everything is filtered. So when you see this person on Facebook, you don't see the real person. But guess what? When they look at their picture, they're not seeing what they really look like either. And so I saw this picture of somebody on Facebook. This is why we were talking about it. And somebody said, the comment was, "Oh, you look so pretty." And I told Kevin, I said, they don't really look that pretty. They've got a filter on this picture. They don't look like that in person at all.
They're like 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
And don't look anything like
this
that.
filter makes their face go like this, and it
tightens their chin down and everything.
They don't look anything like that. So
they look like a light bulb. It's bigger up here and it goes really tiny down here.
You are doing yourself a complete disservice. These people, these young kids today, these young folks today, by not taking real candid pictures, because you're not seeing yourself. And then that's the thing, is when other people see you in reality, they're like, "Whoa, that's not what she."
Or who's that?
Yeah, because this is not the same person that's in these pictures. That's why I don't filter any of my pictures. So yes, when I saw this picture of me sitting on the couch, and it was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea how big I had gotten. How big, I mean, and I had kept going up sizes. Like every time I would go and buy a new sweater or something like that, it was bigger. But I didn't realize how that looked. And it looked really, really bad. And so, yeah, I would say I was probably about 30 years old. Those are my most hated. So it's funny that you are picking 8th grade.
That was that really awkward age for a boy.
Yeah. Okay. Who leads the happiest life in the world? This is just a very general question.
I'm pretty happy. I'm very rarely.
I don't know that they're asking about us. I think they're asking about people in general. I think people
live a pretty happy life
who don't care about what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
I think it's people who are not trying to impress anybody.
Yeah, when you quit, I mean, you can't be rude about it, but then you also can't.
But you can't
worry about it.
I think you can't worry about makeup brands and clothing brands and purse brands and judging other people for
this popular look or that popular look.
Yeah, I think you have to literally be less judgmental. I think if you're less judgy, then you're going to be happier. It's going to make you happier. And if you just don't care about what anybody else says, I mean, ultimately, who cares what people say about you or whatever? It just doesn't matter. As
long as you got people around you that love you.
Yeah, it just doesn't affect your life at all. I think those are the happiest people. Just don't. Just stop caring. Okay. What one object in your house are you most embarrassed about owning?
I don't really have anything I'm embarrassed about. We've gotten rid of anything. First of all, I don't own things that I'm embarrassed about.
I don't either.
Because I would have gotten rid of it.
Why would people own things?
Maybe if you had I don't know, I'm trying to think of what I would actually own that I'd be embarrassed of. Because I wouldn't own it if I was embarrassed about it.
When Kevin and
some people might own a really crappy car, maybe they're embarrassed about that, but yeah,
But you usually can't help it.
I know, but yeah, you can help.
When Kevin and I die and the kids come and go through our stuff, there's not going to be one thing they're going to find that, because you have to think about things like that. You have to think, you've got things in your house, some people may have a drawer or whatever in their house that they wouldn't want anybody to see in that drawer.
If you know what I mean.
Hint, hint. But we don't have anything like that. So you should think about that though if you haven't. If something were to happen to you today, if you were to go out and something, Lord forbid, happened to you, then you have to think, would I want people to find this and this is their memory of me is using this or whatever you're doing, And we don't have any bad pictures. We don't have magazines hidden under the bed. We don't have
secret dope stash.
No, we don't. Yeah,
nothing like that.
No, we don't have. We don't have anything.
I can't think of anything
like that.
I don't have any weird red polka dot underwear I bring out once a year for our anniversary. I mean, anything like that.
No, absolutely.
I say that my dad had a pair of heart boxers, and I don't know that he only wore them once a year, but it's possible.
We don't have anything.
Yeah.
I don't have one article of clothing.
No.
Nothing.
No 90s.
Not any special occasion. I know. I don't have anything. What you see is what I wear to bed.
I don't have any
I mean, really.
mankinis.
No, a mankini. What I would
What was that,
give.
Borat?
Yeah, what I wouldn't give to see you in something like
Lord.
that. Just to laugh.
My fat belly
and
poking
laugh.
out of that'd be awful. Like,
yeah, we don't have any. I don't have anything.
I don't have anything like that.
Nothing embarrassing.
Nothing I can think of, at least.
No.
I mean,
And if you do, you better think about it.
I'm thinking about even on my computer, I don't have any videos or games or anything like that that would be.
No.
I don't have anything like that.
No, I don't have anything on my computer that would incriminate me in any way. No, I don't have anything like that. Okay, if you went to the electronics store right now with $5,000, what would you buy? And that's not limiting you. You could still spend more. You could spend less.
I'd buy the top of the line. Bad thing is electronics stores don't sell what I would want.
Yeah, usually if we're getting a new computer,
we order.
Yeah, Kevin builds it. Kevin orders parts, and Kevin will put it together.
So I guess you could go to the electronics store and buy individual parts, but they're not always going to have the best thing. If I was going to go to an electronics store and buy something, I would get a big ass TV.
So we're talking about Best Buy.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, because we have P-Rats, but is that local? Circuit City. Are they still in business?
Circuit City's not right anymore.
What was that other appliance store? H. Gregg? Was that an appliance?
H. Gregg, maybe.
Was that an appliance
store? Yeah,
it
wasn't around very long around here.
Yeah, it was where Burlington is. Was that called H. Gregg?
Yeah, and they weren't around very long.
What was
At
that?
least in our area.
We had a Comp USA.
Comp USA, they're gone.
What other electronic stores did they have when we were growing up? Mainly Best Buy was the...
Best Buy was the big one.
And Best Buy has stayed around.
Yeah, they stayed around. They've changed, but they've stayed around. Yeah, I would probably get some
so
big...
So we're saying you have to physically go in. You can't order online.
Right.
Yeah.
I would probably buy a big TV with some kind of sound system to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I probably... I would probably go for a computer because whatever I can get at the electronics store is going to be fine for what I do.
We bought pre-mades for Tammy. Yeah. I just don't buy them.
Kevin likes the games, and so Kevin has to have something really powerful and fast for the, what you have to have a faster processor, or is that what it's called?
Yeah, processor and video card.
For the games, whereas for me, it doesn't matter as much.
She needs something decent for editing video. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so, okay.
That would be interesting to hear what other people have said.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you were to say, if you had $5,000 and go to Amazon and buy whatever you want, then I would probably say computer stuff.
Something totally different. Yeah. I think these days, it amazes me how popular records are.
Yeah, making a comeback.
Like, people are really getting into the records. That is, I can tell you right now, that is something, if we made a video about things I would never spend money on again. I'm never going to buy another record.
CD.
I'm never going to buy another CD. I'm never going to buy another DVD.
Blu-ray, any of that stuff.
I honestly...
although someone was just complaining that something, it was the Alien movie, the old original Aliens movie. Apple... Evidently, you could buy the Aliens movie on Apple. Well, they updated the film to where they used this, they upscaled it to high resolution, but they used AI, and it looks weird. It's like the hair looks weird, the things just look off. So instead of them letting you keep that original version of the digital version and a separate updated version, they just replaced your visual version with this AI version, so you can't get the other version out. So people are saying, thank God I still have the Blu-ray version, and the DVD version. So anyway, if people start doing, if that kind of crap starts happening, people start going back to Blu-rays and stuff.
I understand that. If it's something you really care about like that.
I mean, I'll watch it anyway. I don't care, but.
Well, two more examples of that. We own, we've gotten rid of most of our DVDs. We don't even have a DVD player, do we?
Yes, we have one that's shoved under the entertainment
it's not
hooked up. It's underneath the entertainment center. We can hook it up if we ever need it.
So, which we won't.
Which we never have it in 10 years.
When we bought The Lord of the Rings on DVD, we bought all of the extended editions. Right. So for me, I would be sad if I had to watch The Lord of the Rings
Just the
without
regular.
the extended, because I like that. But I listened to a podcast, and this podcast, it's the Girls Next Door podcast, and it's called Girls Next Level, but it's about the girls next door.
Yeah, they got to go through what they went through.
They lived at the Playboy Mansion, and it's Holly and Bridget, if you're wondering. But they've talked about their DVDs before, and they have said that not everything is on there. So like
that was on the TV show.
Yes, like so you might get these little like funny, they call them something specific, like these funny moments that you got in the original, but then they left them out on the DVD version. And like there were just certain things like these. There
was an edit or a cut they were talking about when some kind of controversial thing. We didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
That was in the live show, but then when they went to the DVD, they cut it out. And she said it looks really weird because you're thinking this happened here, but it really didn't. It happened later.
Right. Yeah. So
the way they edited
I don't
it back
think
in.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with them. I think I would like to see the show the way it was in the beginning.
What was the movie? And I know the Twin Towers was a horrible thing, but there was a movie where they had the Twin Towers and they erased them like they didn't exist. It's like, don't change history.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with erasing history.
Yeah.
That was part of history. And
it was in
what
that
do
movie.
You want people to just forget about it?
I'm thinking,
because that's what basically you're saying. Let's just erase them and pretend they never existed.
Right.
I don't believe in doing that. No, this was part of your history, and we need to know that this happened so that we can move on. We can grow from this and learn from this.
I think the deal with that movie,
don't erase
the movie took place in the future sometime. Where the Twin Towers wouldn't have existed anymore. So they just made the decision to, remove them because in reality they wouldn't be there. And I think they should have just left it alone. But I know, I'm sure there's other people that says, I'm glad they erased them. But for me, I'm like, no, don't edit it. Don't edit stuff like that.
No, it's history, and for you to just erase it like that or there's this change things. It's like you're saying that like you're wanting to wash over it like it never happened, and we need to know that these things did happen, and we need to learn and grow from them so that they don't happen again. And so don't ever want to erase that. That's why we have museums. That's why we have museums, is to keep these memories alive of people who lost their lives and stuff like that.
So it's the electronics store. So yeah, anyway.
That came from the electronics store question?
Yeah, because you were thinking things you wouldn't buy.
Things I wouldn't buy again. Gosh, we went a long way from that. I'm sorry.
Round in a circle.
Okay. Yeah, we a long way. What is your favorite part of the human body?
You mean like to just look at?
Whatever. You.
That's a.
Mine's gonna be people are gonna think it's weird. Hands. I really like hands. And it's so funny because one thing I really love, I've said this before about Kevin, is I love his hands. Years ago, we went to this get together at some of his co-workers' house. And I was sitting on the steps in this person's house because we're all just sitting around talking. And I was sitting on the steps with this man who I had just met. And I looked over and I said, "You have the nicest hands." And I about died because he said, I was a hand model at one time. He said, I actually modeled in pictures as a hand model. And I want you to know that man today is the president of the college. The president, and I said that to him, you have the nicest, I wonder if he remembers that.
Probably not.
He's probably thinking, she's the weirdo.
I don't take her anywhere anymore.
He doesn't. We've never gone back anywhere.
She asks questions like that, I can just quit taking her.
I can't say anything. I can't tell somebody they have nice hands. I can't say anything.
It wasn't for that reason. I just don't like going.
He doesn't like going, yeah.
I don't know. I really, it's going to sound weird to me too, but I like hips.
Yeah, you do.
And I like bosoms. I mean, what are you supposed to say? I like ears? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, well, I said hands.
I don't know.
That's the difference between that brain and this brain. Yeah, mine's useful. Okay. We're going to move right on from that one.
Yeah. Now, those are all the questions that you all asked. These
are just regular questions. Okay. The musical instrument I would most love to learn how to play.
It would still be piano, probably. I would love to just get that knowledge inserted in my brain and be able to do it. That would be cool.
He did learn to play piano.
I can never get this hand to work with this hand.
He did learn to play, and he could play, but he decided that it was not for him.
No, it's just, I can play really nicely with one hand or really good with the other hand. But when you try to, my brain does not combine the two. And then
do you think it has anything to do?
2 rows of music across the thing. There's no way I could
this is the weirdest
translate
question,
that.
and people will not understand.
With my eyes?
Do you think it has something to do with your
I don't
eyes?
think so. No.
Kevin's eyes don't work together like a normal human being.
I'm like a lizard.
Kevin has this, what's it called?
I don't even know what it's called.
We don't know what it's called. But Kevin,
I've heard it 50 times.
Kevin's eyes don't work together.
Yeah.
So literally he has to concentrate to make his eyes work together.
No, I can never get my
So I wonder, when you're talking, it just dawned on me, when you're talking about your hands not working together
Could be. I don't think so, because I mean, I think that's a learned trait. You learn to do that.
Right.
And I just could not get the hang of it.
Right.
I cannot get the hang of looking at one row is one hand and the other row is the other hand, and you're translating both at the same time for 2 different hands. I just couldn't do it.
Right.
I just cannot do it.
If I would pick a music, I'm going to say the piano as well, but I really don't want to learn. Like if somebody,
I don't want to go to the effort of learning.
No,
but
like,
that's what I'm saying. If they could just insert it in your brain,
yeah, if they could,
wonderful.
pop a chip in there and I could do it, then that would be great. But I don't actually, like if somebody said, "I'll give you free piano lessons,"
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
Been there, done that.
I don't want to do it. My mom tried to have me in piano lessons when I was a kid. I hated it. I didn't want to practice.
Guitar would be fun.
I just didn't enjoy it.
If I had to actually learn to play something, I might try. If like free lessons, I might try to do a guitar, but I wouldn't be good at that either.
Right.
I'm just not musically inclined.
Something that motivates me.
You motivate me to do things, to get things done, because I'm kind of ornery and don't like to get things done. But I'm also just, I like to, when I'm given a job, I like to start, once I start a job, I like to get it done. Mm-hmm. So I'm motivated by getting to the end.
So I get you started, and then
I motivate myself to finish it. Yeah.
I'm going to say, this is a very me answer, but I'm going to say wait. Wait motivates me. It's just
in choices you make.
And the choices I make, that's what motivates me. That's why I walk every day. That's why we go out and we walk at night. And that's why I don't eat certain foods, or I do eat certain foods. So that's why every choice that I make comes down to weight. As far as like choices that I make all during the day, I could easily sit at the desk all day and be on the computer, but I don't, because I know that I can't do that. I have to get up, I have to move, and I do enjoy it. I genuinely love walking, so I do enjoy it, but the bottom line is it's weight. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And some people think that's an eating disorder, and it's not, because Tammy eats whatever she wants.
Oh, I eat.
But
I can eat.
But she just is conscious of
very conscious
the overall intake of what you eat.
Yeah,
but it's a healthy amount. It's a healtty intake. It's not
Oh no, I don't.
50 calories a day.
I don't pick or anything like that. Well, you would know it. I mean, I wouldn't weigh what I weigh right now if I didn't eat right.
Well, Tammy's got comments before that they said that they thought you had an eating disorder.
It's been a long time.
And it's like, no, because if we're eating a crumble cookie and Tammy wants to eat the frosting on top of the cookie, trust me, she does.
You don't see me after the videos. Think about the tubs of ice cream.
Yeah.
You don't see us after the videos, what we do to the things that we've just
we'll stick in the refrigerator and save them for later. So it's not like we're not eating.
Yeah. Okay. Something that always helps me concentrate. Oh.
I know some people like concentrate with music and stuff. I can't do that.
I have to have it completely
quiet. I don't mind other things going on that could show them off. Music does not help me concentrate. I could not study to music.
Right.
Really am more quiet than anything.
Yeah, but Kevin's really good. Kevin can do two or three things at one time, and he can focus.
I'm pretty multitasking.
I can watch a show while I'm making videos, while I'm working on, like while I'm editing this.
As long as it's not too deep of a show.
Right. Yeah, as long as I don't have to read subtitles
Right.
and stuff like that, or see exactly everything going on. But I need quiet, and it like I can't have anything going on at all, or I'm one of these people that'll have to read the same page 3 times, especially in like when I was in school. I'm not like Kevin and Ashley where they're so lucky that they can read something one time and they get it. They're just naturally smart people. For me, I'm going to have to read this same page over and over again because my mind might have just drifted a little bit, and I might just start thinking about what I want to eat for lunch while I'm reading this page. That happens all the time. So,
Yeah.
quiet. So would you say quiet?
Quiet helps me. Like if I really need to concentrate on something, yeah.
Because some people might say, I don't know, chewing a piece of gum, or
For me, quiet. But like I said, some people concentrate better with music going on, or some kind of even white noise generator or a fan or something like that. You know, everybody's got their own thing.
Now, if you ask me for the question above that, something that motivates me, I would say at the gym or on the treadmill, it would be music. Because I have
get you upbeat.
Listen, if you're walking, I can walk and I can read a book while I'm walking. I can watch a TV show on my phone or a YouTube video or whatever, and I can walk at a good pace. But then I can turn on music and I'm jacking that thing up, because that music, I go twice as hard and twice as fast with music. And so when I'm exercising, music is a huge motivator.
That's why she didn't listen to headphones when we walk. Because she'd be
I would be gone. I would be like, gone. Kevin would be back in the dust. Yeah, because I truly would be gone. Yeah. Music it's great when it comes to working out. We're almost done. As a kid, the extracurricular I enjoyed most were
art.
I'm gonna say chorus.
Yeah.
Is that extracurricular?
Yeah, it's an extra thing.
Okay, I like chorus.
Yeah, mine with art. Art was my extra thing.
My most prized possession is, like, what would you be upset if somebody came into our house and stole?
My computer.
I would be upset if somebody stole my YouTube play button.
Yeah.
I would be upset over that.
Yeah, but she would also be really upset if something happened to her computer too, because
everything's on my computer.
Video and
so
everything
yes,
on there.
Computer definitely. I think that's a given. I think most people would say that because that's where most people store things. Beyond my phone and my computer, actually, let's just take electronics out of it.
Okay.
No electronics. I'm going to say my YouTube play button. Yeah, I like this better, taking the because I think electronics these days would be most people's answer. It's a little bit harder because what is important to you? Kevin doesn't have anything that...
I should say, everything in this house could get sold off and I wouldn't care. That's awful, but it's true.
No, I think,
you take away the electronic stuff and really everything else in here is
and I think like
pictures and...
I think that's interesting.
We don't have pictures of family and stuff. We just don't have that kind of stuff.
We keep them on the computer.
We keep it on the computer. If we want to look at it, we can go look at the computer. But like, there's stuff hanging on the wall. There's furniture here. There's nothing here that I'm so attached to that if it was gone, I would care.
We've talked about this. We've had conversations about this before, because I find it so fascinating that when you come into a marriage, traditionally, it might not be this way in every marriage, of course, because a lot of men love designing and picking out things, and they're really, really good at it. And Kevin is good when he does it. But for the most part, it's the woman bringing in all the stuff. And you wonder, how does it, but now we've seen a lot of hoarder shows where it's men too. A lot of men have that disorder too. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff, especially our house, I can look around and say, that's me. I'm the one that brought this in, and I'm the one that did all this. So then years later when I say, oh, we have to sell this stuff, well, whose fault is it that it's in the house to begin with? It's mine, because Kevin would have never brought it.
And we don't have any furniture that was like my grandmother's or great-great-grandmother's, or things like that have sentimental value to them. We just don't own anything.
So there's not one thing that is your most prized possession.
No, not if you take away the computers and stuff like that. No.
Yeah. That actually is very interesting. So,
I don't have any awards. If you were to, I guess my degree from UK. I guess if I had to say something,
it's right back there.
Yeah, I guess that. I guess I could say that. Although that piece of paper means nothing.
Nothing to you.
It's you've earned the degree. You have it.
Yeah,
the piece of paper, but. I guess that's something I worked towards and I did earn, and it's mine.
Right.
I guess that.
But I think a lot of people, like if they were to move, like if you were to move, like let's say to Hawaii, you would have
to. And you have to pay to ship anything. You have to pay
to ship, so you have to get rid of everything.
Yeah. What one thing are you shipping to Hawaii with you?
I'm gonna ship, besides my electronics, I'm gonna ship that YouTube play button.
Yeah, you stick that in your luggage.
Yeah, I'll stick that in my luggage. Honestly, there's
nothing else here.
No.
Are you really attached to it?
No, I could get rid of most of it, and start brand new.
I know there's some people that remember we watched it was a hoarder show, but he was like he was attached to all the stuff and the art in his house, and he was an artist, and he was very, very attached to everything in his house from an artistic point of view. And I could see people being like that. We're just not those people.
The one thing I would take with me is the rabbit.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you reach that and turn it just real quick? That rabbit on the wall up there, that's the rabbit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That would be...
Yeah, that's true. He's pretty cool.
If I had to pick one thing in this whole house,
that you besides would
pack away, I would pack that hair because I love it.
Yeah.
And his name is Nigel, if you're wondering, because everything has a name in this house.
Literally.
And his name is Nigel. Okay, so you literally don't have anything besides your degree. Okay. Yeah. And the last question this week is one thing I really excel at.
Go ahead.
Organizing. I love to organize. I love I'm really, really good. If someone were a hoarder, or if I were to go in somebody's house and clean and organize everything, I love that kind of thing. I love, like, our daughter Ashley, she'll have like 4 purses going at one time, which drives me insane. And she'll have like things in each one. It's like she doesn't clean everything out of one before she moves to another one, which I don't know, I don't get that. But I love going over to her house and going through all those purses and straightening it all up and putting everything where it's supposed to be. Because I just don't, if it's like, if it was something important enough to have in this purse, then why didn't you move it from that purse to the next purse?
She probably owns 3 versions of that thing.
That's what I think. Like hand sanitizer, I think she has one in each purse.
Exactly.
Whereas
so you don't
me,
switch it.
I'm going to move one from that one to this one. Anyway, okay.
Mine would be figuring out how things work. I think I
agree.
Yeah. And that's whether it's a physical thing or even software on the computer, because I can get a program on the computer and not have a clue how to use it, but I'll play around with it until I figure it out, because I'm not afraid to play around with anything. I mean, the worst case scenario is it breaks, I'll reinstall it.
Most people are afraid if something breaks, they won't be able to fix it. Kevin's so knowledgeable, he doesn't have that worry like most of us do, because I have that worry too.
No, if I break it, that's part of the fun is I break it. I got to figure out how to fix it.
Exactly. For me, it's just going to stay broke.
Now that's
like the Rubik's Cube.
That does not. Yeah. Well, I just look up a video on how to solve that. But like plumbing, I don't like doing plumbing because water can like literally ruin your house.
But you have done plumbing.
I have done plumbing, but not really complicated plumbing.
I think you've done some complicated plumbing.
Just basic stuff, putting in sinks and toilets or something, but nothing like, I wouldn't go into the house and replumb the drains for the sewer. You know, I wouldn't do that kind of stuff. Like for instance, we had a drain pipe under the house. We were getting like the sewer smell in the house occasionally, and we're like, you guys got to go underneath the house. It's something under the house that's leaking. So they found a pipe, one of the drain pipes. They had to go in there and literally cut it off and put a new section in. And it's like, I would have done that. There's no way I would have done that. First of all, I'm not crawling around underneath the house. But also just not going, I'm not brave enough to go in there and just get a Sawzall and start cutting pipes out, you know?
Right.
Because I'd be like, how am I going to put this back together again?
When we renovated the kitchen, the refrigerator was in a completely different spot that it's in. When we do reviews where you see that play button behind us, that's where the refrigerator used to sit. If you go way back when we first moved in this house, back to really old videos, the refrigerator was like right in the middle of the floor before we renovated it.
But you literally walked in, you had to walk around it.
You had to walk around the refrigerator to go back into the other room. But that had a water line because it made ice, that refrigerator.
And we had to cap it off and so.
Did you not cap that off?
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, see, isn't that plumbing?
That's just capping some off. That's not fixing anything. That's just like literally putting some glue around it and sticking something on there.
I mean, there's always the potential that it could leak under there, and it's been fine all this time. Did you not do anything under the sink when we did that renovation?
No, we paid the plumber.
We paid somebody. Okay. I didn't remember.
Yeah, we paid somebody because all there was 2 little water lines sticking up and didn't have valves on them. 2 little lines sticking up, and the drainage thing was sticking up out of the bottom of the cabinet. It's like, I'm not touching that.
But now he's gotten under the sink like that U shape, and he's taken that off, and we've cleaned it out.
I don't think that's any big deal.
And boy, those get so disgusting, and you need to. I wish they were.
Soak them in bleach or something.
Yeah, I wish they were easier to do. It was an easier thing because I think more people need to do that more often. I'm sure ours is terrible.
They are pretty easy now. You just undo two like little hand screws and the whole thing just comes off.
But that's something that gets really gross.
It's black sometimes.
But yeah, I would say you're very good at it.
Yeah, I like to figure out how things work.
Yeah. So those are all the questions for this week. This is the 3rd week we've done this in a row. I'm glad you all are enjoying it.
Yeah, Tammy said you guys are really enjoying it.
Yeah, you're enjoying it, and a lot of you take the time to answer the questions yourself. I love it. I love reading through your answers. I mean, and some people don't answer every one. Some people pick a few. Some people will just pick like 2 things, and they'll say, "Oh, well, I feel this way," or "I feel this way," and it's like that's just interesting to me because I like getting to know you all. I like.
And if you disagree with us, it's okay. That's what makes the world go around.
Yeah, if everybody
agreed, it wouldn't be very interesting.
Yeah, it would be a boring place if we all agreed.
Yeah. We'd all be in a cult.
Yeah, the Stepford Wives. Yeah, right. Exactly. So thank you to our Patreon supporters, to our YouTube members. We always appreciate that.
If you don't want to pay, just give us a thumbs up and a comment.
Yes.
Or just watch the videos. That's all you really need to do.
Yeah, so we'll hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.